The date is the 12th of July 1998. The Stade de France in Paris holds 80,000 people. Brazil are the defending world champions. They have Ronaldo, the greatest footballer on the planet, the man who had terrorized every defense in the tournament. And then the team sheet arrives. Ronaldo is starting. Then it is withdrawn. Then it is reissued with Ronaldo's name back on it. Nobody in that stadium knows what is happening. And Brazil lose 3-0 to a French team that barely had to try. That night confused the entire football world. Not because France won. They were brilliant throughout that tournament. But because Brazil with Ronaldo were simply not there. They were physically present, but something else was missing entirely. And the reason why has never been fully explained on a broadcast or a highlight reel. What actually decided the 1998 World Cup was not Zinedine Zidane's two-headed goals. It was not French tactical brilliance. It was something that happened in a hotel room in Paris hours before kickoff. Something that changed the course of football history and has shaped how national teams prepare for major tournaments ever since. Start with what everyone thinks they saw. They think they saw France dominate a flat, lifeless Brazil team in a one-sided final. They think they saw Zidane rise above the Brazilian defense twice in the first half and head two identical corner kicks into the net. They think they saw a moment of French destiny. But sports neurologist Dr. Aurelio Saraiva, who has studied the physiological effects of acute stress episodes on elite athletic performance, describes what happened to Brazil that night as one of the most documented cases of catastrophic pre-match neurological disruption in the history of professional sport. Ronaldo had a seizure hours before the World Cup final. In the hotel room he shared with his club teammate Roberto Carlos. The details have been confirmed by multiple sources over the years, by Roberto Carlos himself, by former Brazil team Dr. Lidio Toledo, and by the Brazilian Football Confederation's own internal reports. Ronaldo convulsed on the hotel room floor. His teammates were terrified. An ambulance was called. He was taken to a clinic, examined and cleared to play. But the squad had already seen it. They had watched their best player, their talisman, the man they believed was going to win them the World Cup, lying on the floor of a hotel room having a seizure hours before the biggest match of their lives. Dr. Saraiva's research on acute stress and performance is unambiguous on this point. When a team watches a traumatic event happen to a central figure hours before a high-stakes competition, the psychological disruption spreads through the group in a process he calls collective emotional contagion. The players who witnessed what happened to Ronaldo did not just feel concern. Their cortisol levels spiked. Their sleep in the preceding hours had already been disrupted. Their ability to focus on tactical instructions, on set-piece routines, on the specific defensive assignments Zagallo had given them, was fundamentally compromised. They were not a football team walking into that final. They were a group of frightened young men trying to hold themselves together. And yet Ronaldo played. That is the decision that has been debated for 26 years. Brazil's coach Mario Zagallo, under enormous pressure from the Brazilian Football Confederation and reportedly from Nike, who had a commercial contract with Brazil and a specific financial interest in Ronaldo appearing in the final, named him in the starting lineup. Sports journalist Andrew Jennings, whose investigative work on football governance and commercial corruption in the sport exposed some of the most significant scandals of that era, documented the Nike influence on Brazil's national team extensively. The commercial pressure to play Ronaldo, regardless of his medical condition, was real and was significant.